Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mike Armstrong podcast show. And this afternoon, I'm joined by Gary Quee, who's from the ConXHub. And we'll have a little chat about business, lockdown, and all that sort of thing. Because we actually met recently on the Outstanding Network event. But we haven't actually spoken to each other before. So this is the first chat. And we're going to get to know
Yep,
each other. So how are you doing today, Gary? You okay?
great. Busy Monday also for me. It has been really good. The ConXHub customer base is building nicely, nice and steady, which is I think is better than frantic or nothing at all. It's a
Yeah.
nice seems to be just a nice natural progression that we're experiencing, which is really good.
So tell us a little bit more about the Connex hub. Is connection hub. Is that what the Connex
Yes,
is short for?
yeah, so ConXHub it's a like a little strap line says there on the street on the screen. You know, it's a new no contract way to have a telecoms service for your business. So it's it's a brand new technology. It's non-VoIP technology. Okay, so we drive everything directly through mobile phones. We can integrate with an existing telephone system that might be in situ, and also direct our calls through laptops and PCs to interact with mobile phones as well. So it's pretty clever technology. I am not a techie. Let's just get that out there from the get-go. I am not a techie, but I am a sales guy, so I am the salesman. But Nexhub's not a hard sell. Got some great customers, and one of them actually educated me. He said, "Listen, Gary, ConXHub is not a hard sell, at all. When you told, when this was me, him to me, he says, when you told me that I could have my Belfast number and my Dublin number, for £20 per month, okay, and that would also give me inclusive calls and unlimited calls and also free international calls or inclusive international calls. Says I automatically thought, excellent, I can drop that £5 per month bolt on my phone. And so actually that £20 per month in real terms is actually now costing me 15 because I'm saving a fiver. But on top of that, you're giving me two business numbers, one for Belfast and one for Dublin. And I said, well, that's the whole thing. We help busy business people keep their private mobile number private and use a business number for business. Speaking to and today as well, a couple of business people who I call them multipreneurs. A bit like yourself, Mike. You've got 3 or 4 little businesses, running in tandem, and but they're not all necessarily the same type or of business or certainly in the same sector, and so helped. Well, there's one guy today just introduced to it, and he's having a chat with his business partner. They have an import-export business, and they also have a business consultancy and a recruitment business as well. But they're 3 totally separate businesses set up totally separately. But at the moment, they're using Skype calls to talk to USA and to Spain and to wherever else they're having to contact where their customer base is pretty much, and I said, well, I'll give you your Belfast, your Dublin number. That's you set up, in Ireland. There's your 20 quid. But I'll give you your New York number. There's another £2. And also your London and your Barcelona number. They're £2 each as well. So between them, between the two partners, they can run the 3 businesses off 2 mobile phones with sharing, 5 or 6 of the same numbers on those 2 mobile phones. Now you imagine contacting the local telecoms providers in those countries, never mind just in the UK and Ireland, say, listen, I want 2 landline numbers and let's do it over Skype or whatever. but you've got to have those landline connections of some description to have those business telephone numbers, and that it's extremely difficult, can be extremely difficult, but we'll have them set up on those 6 numbers on both phones inside 30 minutes. And they'll be live.
Do you have a connection to be able to do the same thing with virtual offices?
Connection as in a person?
Yeah, somebody, for example, who can do a virtual office address in lots of different countries or locations.
No, is it off the top of my head? Because we do the physical, the number, the virtual number.
Yeah. The reason I ask is you would have an amazing solution if you could get that to your mix as well. You'd have an amazing solution for online businesses who wanted to have a presence in various countries. So, for example, you could have a head office website with a subsidiary page, if you like, for each country. Yeah. And on that country, you could put the address and the phone number. The phone number is useful anyway for the physical, real world people to be able to ring you and think you're local. Yeah. So the number on its own, what you offer already, is fantastic for people who wanted to get phoned from people in other countries. Yeah. Who can see them as local. But if you can put the address on there as well, then the search engines will think you're in those countries as well. Yeah. So therefore, you get more inquiries for the phone number.
Yeah, absolutely, good idea. And I suppose say to your audience now, look, if you've got people in who are in that line of business, who are interested in maybe talking to us about that, we will concentrate purely and solely with ConXHub. We're building a global brand here, Mike, because the people behind it were Riptech Limited, own ConXHub, and Riptech, have been in the telecoms sector and world for 30 plus years, and some very, very talented people there. I get the easy job. I just get to speak about it, and tell people how great it is, and all the technical support and all that stuff. That is, thank goodness, that is all been done by very much more clever people than me. But
it'd be a fantastic solution, though. Getting. There's a lot of online businesses now looking to go global and looking for ways to be able to facilitate that, if you like. Actually getting a number for every country that you want to operate in, and getting an address to go with it is even better. But just having a number is still useful, and having a dedicated. I do web design and SEO and all of that type of stuff, and actually having a dedicated landing page for each country that you want to operate in, especially if it's in a different language, if that country speaks a different language, and having the phone number for that country as well. It all helps to pick up more clients and new clients from greater geographical areas. And there's a lot of businesses at the moment that want to go global, if you like, rather than just stay local.
Well, absolutely. Look, it sounds like you're definitely onto something there, and would be, I certainly would be interested in talking to people who are in that business, that type of business, about exploring those opportunities without a doubt, because that's something we could, just introduce and bring to the table. But we wouldn't overcomplicate it as a company. We'd just say, look, we'll take care of the telecoms piece. And yes,
the address.
You bolt on the address, happy days. That sounds fantastic. Because we do, in particular areas, we do need to have an address to register numbers to. So.
Well, I'm interested in that solution myself, so I might see if I can find someone who does the address, and then I would be interested in the number and the address together. Let's see. And actually, all web designers and SEO people would make great resellers for that service, because they're all dealing with clients regularly who a lot of them at the moment are going global, because of the pivoting into technology and stuff during the lockdown period. There's a lot of businesses
Absolutely.
now looking to grab as much of the global market as they can during these
Yeah.
times. You know?
Absolutely, and look, there's we've helped a ConXHub's not just about the small and the micro business. You know, we've helped a company grow exponentially. This is our largest client, from 100 employees to 400 employees in 2 years. Simply because of the technology of ConXHub. Now they're a contact center, and they are now between the 400 employees. They actually use 14,000 numbers. So each of those employees has the facility to call out from 35 separate numbers each. Which means for telesales campaigns or promotional campaigns, or inbound call helplines, etc. It just creates a huge flexibility for businesses. For companies that have people on the road, for instance, a lot of engineers, a lot of salespeople on the road. ConXHub's actually facilitating a very easy way for businesses to manage their people and their comms. They don't need to have these expensive business mobile numbers or mobile phones anymore. So imagine a company of electricians, and they employ 10 guys or girls, and they say, right, here's your phone, here's your iPad or laptop, here's your jobs for the week, see ya, and off they go. And half of that team go, I can't handle this, too much work, or I've got a better offer elsewhere. There's your phone back, mate. Cheers. And there's your iPad. Now the company has got 5 mobile phones that they're paying for until they get new owners for them. You don't need that anymore with ConXHub. Everybody carries a smartphone, at least one. Some people carry 2 and 3. We love those customers who say, look, stop carrying 2 or 3 phones. We can put all those numbers onto one for you. And for the businesses that are having to supply phones, don't have to do that anymore. You say, look, we're just going to get you to download an app on your phone, the ConXHub app, and you're set up using that number within 10 minutes, and you make all your business calls to and from your business number or the company number. And if you leave the company, you'll be disconnected within 10 minutes, and if you join the company, you'll be connected within 10 minutes. And sometimes it's quicker, so
Yeah.
It just makes it a lot more cost effective, a lot more straightforward, hassle free. It's just super technology, and there's no contract, so we're totally different, totally unique from some of the other providers that are out there that you get tied in for 2, 3, 5 years. Even a local medical center not too far from me, I went down, and my wife works there 2 days a week actually, and I got chatting to the manager, and I says, Gail, what about your telecoms? How are you fixed? And she says, oh, we're about halfway through a 7-year contract. I said, 7 years? Okay. So well, there's different reasons why telecoms companies sign people up for big contracts.
Yeah.
We're so confident in our technology. We don't need you to sign up for a contract.
No, and I suppose it is a sewn up market, if you like. So you've got to offer something really different to get people to want to switch. Like, I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt for that being a disruptor in a market that was, full of the big boys in the establishment, and you've got to go in there and make a difference somehow. So you've got to offer some real clear difference of choice, if you like, So that's key. What areas can you provide your solutions to? Is it just Ireland, all of the UK and Ireland, all of Europe, the world?
No, well, I'm based here in sunny Bangor, County Down in Northern Ireland, and well, it was sunny earlier today, but I work here in Ireland, North and South, but I'm speaking to people in Houston, Texas, Toronto, New Zealand. It's global. Just because I'm here, this is a global opportunity for. And look, I want to work with other telecoms providers as well. You know that ConXHub is non-VoIP, and look, VoIP is the big thing right now for a lot of businesses. And you know, it's the technology that a lot of businesses think is only available to them or know about. You know, VoIP is very widely known. ConXHub is new non-VoIP technology. It's new to the market. We're probably 5-6 years ahead of any potential competition that's about as well. So we're first to market with this, you know, and it's just very clever technology. But we want to build a global brand, you know, so our reputation is everything, and that means great price, great service, great backup, you know, and so anybody who's interested in talking further or getting involved with ConXHub, I'll be more than happy to I'll give you, tell me what your number is. I'll give you a call because I got free international calls. I'm using ConXHub. So, and somebody asked me today, so, well, it was the two chaps that have the three businesses running in tandem today. He said, if we wanted a couple of numbers for each business, would that be okay? I said, yeah. But ConXHub is slightly limited to the amount of numbers that we can provide to each mobile phone. And I think it's just somewhere around 4,025 numbers per mobile phone we can give you at the moment. Yeah. So we currently hold a world record in numbers.
They can just get one from you, can they?
Yeah. So we can do both. You know, if you don't have a number, we have a stock of numbers that you can avail of. And or if you have a historical number that your business has had for the last 10, 20 years, whatever, it's no different. Just you port the number across. You keep your number. Of course, you keep your number. You know that number's important to you and worth money. You know you've had that number for many number of years. So why wouldn't you keep it? You know it's no different from moving from one telecoms provider to another. You know. The only difference is we put it on your mobile phones or facilitate or integrate through your existing phone setup. Talking to some and through your laptops and PCs on a little widget or on our ConXHub widget. So you see the calls coming in on screen and you select those, and for each particular that calls for Mike. Mike's in a meeting, so Wendy can take that call or Dave can take that call, whatever. So it's pretty clever tech, or we can just have it directly to the mobile phones. When customers say to us, you know, what can you do for me? Tell me about ConXHub. We always say, well, what do you need it to do? You tell us what you want us to do for you, you know, because our technology can do that. You know, well, we'll soon find out if we can do it or not.
The £20 a month is for one number. So say, for example...
no, £18 per month. There's four different pricing plans. Starter, bronze, diamond, and platinum. But for now, bronze would be for unlimited inbound calls only. So if you were set up in a business that you didn't need to make any outbound calls, use bronze at £12 per month. And have unlimited inbound calls that you can field like an Amazon type of, you know, if you were just receiving orders and having to make those orders up and post them out or do whatever, just make dispatches, you can have unlimited calls coming in. And with all of our pricing plans, we said we don't do contracts, and we don't. However, we do. So bronze would be at £12 per month. If you were using bronze for 2 or 3 months and you thought, actually, I love this, you know, this is great. Can I pay for 12 months in advance? We say, yes, you can. Why would we say no? So you can pay for 12 months in advance, and we'll give you a 20% discount on that. So you're, instead of £12 per month, you're paying £10 per month. So, and we do that with the diamond, and we also do that with platinum. Diamond is for the slightly larger business, or although for sole traders is great too. You know, if sole traders, micro businesses, and can but it's £18 per user. But that's unlimited inbound and outbound, and the free international calls as well, and multiple numbers, of course, as well. So the first number is £18 for Diamond, and every additional number is £2 thereafter. So the £20 I mentioned is for 2 numbers. It's actually 3 numbers because it also includes your mobile number. So you can make international calls from your mobile number as well through the ConXHub app. So and then if you want to use it for a few months, if you're happy, and you want to pay 12 months in advance, great. We'll reduce that £18 to £15.
Yeah.
So you can have a.
Yeah, if you've got a sole trader who's like running his business from his mobile at the moment, but he wants to appeal to 2 cities next to each other, if you like, which have got different regional number, he could get 20 quid a month. He could get 2 numbers, which he gets going through to his mobile phone. But those cities, when they look at his website, will think he's local.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's. And I mentioned earlier about we help business owners keep their private number private and use a business number for business. So that pretty much is what my business card is all about. So on there, you should see. Sorry, dodgy picture. So there's my Belfast number, Dublin number, and London number, and then obviously my email as well. And all those 3 numbers are actually connected directly to
your mobile.
But if I want, I can use my mobile, my SIM card to make. So I ring my cousin Nicola in Auckland from time to time. Mark Trowbridge, turn your phone off at this stage. So I make. I make, that's the boss, yeah, and so I make, not very often, call my cousin Nicola in Auckland, just for a catch up and chat to my Aunt Flo, but they have my personal mobile number, so I ring them directly from my mobile number through the ConXHub app and have a chat with them, catch up, so so you can use your mobile number the same way as your business, because you're just sending the call through the app.
Yeah.
And it's not using any data. People say, "Oh, does this eat up my data?" No, it's not, because this is a straight SIM card to SIM card. As long as you have inclusive minutes on your SIM plan, you can use ConXHub.
Yeah. Okay. So it just uses your minutes rather than your international.
It uses your minutes. Yeah. So I also try and advise my clients to have a closer look at their data requirement per month. So there's no point having 60, 80, 100 gig of data if you're only really using 50, 40, or 30. Pay for the data, because you mostly pay for data these days. You don't pay for calls and texts anymore. And so, but you will pay if I tried to ring Nicola in Auckland from my normal mobile number straight to her mobile, even her mobile or her landline in Auckland. Pretty sure I'm going to get hit with a pretty hefty bill after that, because I'm making an international call that's not included on my payment plan, on my SIM plan. So same thing even locally. And that's why I have my. And try and advise customers with regard to Brexit here in UK and Europe and Ireland, just say, look, for £20 per month, and even £22 per month, have a Belfast, Dublin, and a London number. You'll have that presence, that virtual presence for those 3 markets. But also when you go to make those international calls, if you're ringing a landline in Dublin. If you don't have an international bolt-on, on your SIM plan, you're going to get hit. Not mobile to mobile, still free in Europe-wide, UK-wide, that's fine. But the minute you make a mobile to landline call in Dublin or in Paris or Berlin, whatever, you're going to get hit with an international call charge, unless you have a bolt-on. But for £20, yeah.
How do you find, obviously a lot of people are doing international calls now on Zoom and the like. How do you find, how's that impacted I guess less people are having those shock mobile phone costs now. And obviously that's your
Yeah,
market, isn't it? The ones who get those shock mobile phone costs with the big
yeah,
international calls, that's the
yeah.
market. But my guess is that's probably dropped quite a lot since Zoom has been so prevalent.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Zoom has been a fantastic tool, and Skype before that, and still existing, and even Google now, Google Teams, and and that's great. And for visual, for visual communication, you know, um, all of those platforms are fantastic. I would knock them for a second, but some days you don't feel like being on TV. Some days you just rather have a chat with somebody, or ping a message, to somebody, or a quick, email. I think email is a dying art now. Not so many people have time to read through big long emails anymore, unless they've connected. That's where the likes of, I'm a big user of LinkedIn, and of course you and I, Mike, are both on the Outstanding Network and the Northern Ireland Business Network, and on Facebook. And I find that, I find those platforms really fantastic for keeping in contact with people. And then you follow them up with that, if a Zoom call is suitable for them, great, do it. I don't have Zoom. I don't subscribe to Zoom. People send me so kind of you to send me an invitation today, but I don't use it as a rule. I can get by with either a phone call or a message on LinkedIn, or but yeah, some days you don't feel like being on TV.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's it.
Just to have a straight telephone call would be. And I think we had this conversation in the Outstanding Network today, where somebody said, "Oh, they don't pick up unknown numbers." Certainly if it's a withheld number, I'd never ever answer that call. If it's a number that shows up on your phone that you don't recognize, answer it. Don't answer it. I would say don't answer it. First of all, if it's an important call, somebody will leave you a voicemail. If it's a scam artist or just somebody trying to flog you something, double glazing or dodgy telecom system, just don't take a call. If it's important, they'll leave you a voicemail, or if it's genuine, they'll leave you a voicemail more like, so I always leave a voicemail. I've rang many people and they don't have my number. If I ring them from my, Belfast, Dublin or London numbers, they'll not have my number initially. But I'll always leave a number. Just say, Mike Armstrong said to give you a call. It's Gary from ConXHub. Let's have a chat.
So is ConXHub some sort of like multi-level marketing or anything, or is it just a company based in Ireland, or how does it work?
No. So it's a global business. Mark Trowbridge, our CEO and founder of ConXHub, and Riptech. Riptech owned ConXHub. So the guy, Mark, was Riptech were instrumental in setting up the telecoms networks for some of the embassies around London back in the 80s, 90s. And if you go on to the ConXHub, ConXHub.com website, and you'll click on the About information, you'll see the timeline for ConXHub. And the guys there were pretty instrumental in setting up telecommunications for embassies around London. They then got work for the US Embassy, which then led to work for the US Defense Department. So you can imagine the questions and the hoops that they had to jump through to get that contract.
Yeah.
They then did some work also for Shell UK, and then Shell on a more of a global basis as well. So those guys, were that was all VoIP. That was all VoIP communications when back in the early days of VoIP and broadband and all was coming to the fore. But Mark was always frustrated with the inconsistency sometimes and in the lack of connectivity or the unreliability of VoIP communications. And he put his first PBX telephone exchange into the cloud in 2004. He messed about with it and added things to it and took things out and tried to improve it, and nearly went mad. And then he stripped everything out except for the voice connectivity of ConXHub. And then ConXHub basically was born or registered as a business in 2014. Since then, we've had exponential growth as a company. It's still very small as a business on telecoms companies' standards, but we have a 98% customer retention. And since 2014, so some of our original customers are still with us, and we're growing steadily as a business because the technology just works. And recently, or in the last couple of years, we have, when COVID hit, and I don't know if this was the same time or leading up to, but there was a business, and I don't know where the business is, but it's UK. It was UK based or is UK based. All of their staff are now working from home. They're all set up on ConXHub through our ACD, so it's working through their laptops and their phones, and they don't need an office anymore. They've vacated a building, and they've vacated that building, and as a company, they're saving £58,000 per year on rent and rates. And I recently, PwC, the accountancy firm, I believe are fully mobile right now. I don't know but I think that's possibly a VoIP system there. I don't know the detail around that, but that was said to me recently. Barclays Bank, when COVID hit, their people had to vacate the Canary Wharf with a lot of others, of course. So some 3,000 people, had to leave those buildings, and I don't know if those buildings are being fully populated just yet. So for me, I see, yes, absolutely, the businesses will come back to there, but I see massive, and our high streets are every time I walk down a high street, my heart sinks, with all these closed buildings. And I think, why aren't we bringing the people back in here? And, because the people are, create these, because once upon a time, it was just a village. Your high street and your main street were just, the heart of your village. And then the town grew around those two streets pretty much, and we need, for me personally, if the businesses are going to struggle living, operating in those buildings with the constraints that are on them now, and etc., we need to get people back in those buildings, living in those buildings, and creating a community again. And the business people, people in business can be working from home. We've all demonstrated it now. We can all work from home, and if we've got good broadband connectivity, then we're going to get all of our emails the way we want them, and all of our documents downloading as fast as we need. And this is where ConXHub then, as a telecoms connectivity, would just help to facilitate that multi-numbering need and those international calls needs. That a lot of companies, I think, will slowly but surely see the advantage of maybe using ConXHub and trying it.
Yeah, I see you've got a referral scheme for customers to refer other customers to you. Yes. What do you get for that?
So £30 is your referral fee. I do also have a direct referral partnership agreement that I set up with my referral partners. So we have an ongoing, it's a bit of a multi-layered thing there, but yes, absolutely interested in helping anybody who is interested.
Yeah, that was the next question I was going to ask is, do you have an affiliate scheme for not just
Yes.
individual customers, for others? Because I might be interested in having a look at that, because I've got a client at the moment who may be interested in a number or
Yeah.
two, and I get them from time to time, because I do web design and stuff, and I work with startups
Yeah.
sometimes. It's just a
Yeah.
nice bolt-on, isn't it? It's a nice bolt-on to somebody who do you want
Of
a
course.
landline number running off your mobile, and have that number on your website rather than your mobile one.
Yeah, no, 100%, Mike. Look, referrals. There's nothing like a nice warm referral when you ring somebody up, say, Mike said you might be interested in this, or whatever. So absolutely, yes. Look, I've been working with referrals for a long, long time, and you know, um, providing referrals back to my ConXHub clients too, who are in different sectors and business consultancy or as you say, web design or that type of thing. Whatever. If they're helping me, I'm more than happy to help them. So absolutely, you and I can catch a chat offline. I'll fill you in a bit more detail on that privately.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, yeah, and yeah, usually I like to ask people how the lockdown's been for them, and have they done any pivoting? Has there been any real effect to what you've been doing during the lockdown?
Um, yes, absolutely. I had to for a while. I had to just get my head around the fact that this is going to be a different way of working, and this is a household of 5 people and 3 dogs, and so that needs to be managed.
It's a bit of
Especially when yeah, it takes a bit of adjusting, is right. And back in when the weather was absolutely fabulous back in June, it was kind of hard to be. I've got a nice little office here that I'm sat in, but so when you're looking outside and the sun's blazing, it's kind of hard sometimes just to focus on that on the job in hand at times, And sometimes it's good to just take time out and say, right, today today's a half day, just
those
I'm
rest
head.
days, that's what I decided to do. I just, you know what, I decide I'm going to go out and enjoy it, and I'll just work in the
Yeah,
evening or catch up on the weekend or whatever,
that's it. That's it. And I think that this whole COVID lockdown and the pivoting time, has really enlightened a lot of people as to how flexible work can work and does work. And having the likes of ConXHub technologies, at their fingertips, it's I always it's like when if you took a phone call on your we always try and poke a bit of fun at the desk phone. We're trying to eliminate the desk phone from site. In ConXHub, because we put the desk phone number on your mobile phone. So if you had a desk phone, and you took a call on it, and you knew that this was an important customer that you've been trying to get, for a couple of months, and finally they called you back. However, they called you back right at the moment that you had to get across town for that other important customer that you've been trying to chase for 3 months, and they've finally said, I'll meet you at 3 o'clock, and it's now 2 o'clock, and it's going to take an hour to get to them or whatever. But if you're on that phone with this customer, do you say, listen, I'll call you back from the car? Wait, you've been chasing me for 3 months, mate, and now you're going to hang up on me. Whereas you take it on ConXHub, yep, absolutely, Mike, I'll be with you in an hour. So ConXHub just gives you that bit of freedom. You've already taken your landline call is on your mobile phone. Your mobile's mobile. Let's go. So it's just creates a lot more freedom and flexibility for companies.
Yeah, and does everyone else doing the VoIP numbers and the other landline numbers diverted to mobiles and that? Are they all contracted normally?
Yeah, they will be. Yeah, most there are some out there that don't contract. I think there is a couple that don't. But what they're not able to do is just give that multi-number facility on the
They would just have one
on
number.
Well, it's a voice. Well, sorry, that's not true. I'll correct that. No, they can have multiple numbers, but it'll be a VoIP connection or a data connection. So it's a VoIP call that you're making each time, and that's great. Look, you and I have had a good Zoom call here, and obviously you've got good broadband, and I've got good broadband, so the connectivity's been good. It's just when the connectivity fails, VoIP communication will fail. And that's not to say that the ConXHub actually has this third little element, this third little piece. It actually can operate on the 2G connectivity, which is the voice network. But when there's 3G and 4G in the neighborhood, it'll quite happily get a piggyback and a little boost from the 3G and 4G. But if you're ever traveling along and your 3G, 4G signal fails, you've no call. Well, if 3G, 4G fails and you're on a ConXHub call, there's a greater likelihood that you'll maintain that connectivity because the signal will slip down onto the 2G connectivity. So that connection will be maintained, and more so if it's two ConXHub phones talking to one another. If one is ConXHub and one is 3G and it fails, okay, there's no call. But there wasn't going to be a call anyway. So more of a likelihood. So I like it's not infallible. There's a few super black spots around, and look here. But your 3G, 4G call is not going to happen there anyway.
So is it better for it's better for places that have stronger SIM card signals but not so good Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it would be absolutely. So it's what we use is the mobile telecoms network to connect all our calls.
Yeah, so does it work better? Because obviously some areas, like in Wales, for example, are better depending on which network you're with. Like, whether you're with
absolutely.
It's one network you're with that makes a difference then to the ConXHub.
Yeah, well, it would help. It would help. So if you have whatever the best SIM provider, best connectivity of SIM provider in your local area will obviously benefit ConXHub without a doubt. But it doesn't matter. You can be you could be in Hong Kong or New York or Adelaide. Whatever SIM card you use is irrelevant to us. You just tell us what your mobile number is and what number you want associated with that, or numbers, 4,000 plus numbers if you wish, and we'll make them usable via your mobile phone.
Yeah, is that the same as well if you're in another country? So if you're in another country and you're phoning the UK, is your inclusive calls, because there's a lot of people who travel who will save a lot of money on ConXHub for that then?
Yeah, so the answer is no. Okay, so you need to be making an in-country call. But it's a matter of then if you were setting off to Australia for a month or whatever, you would go there, get yourself a cheap SIM card for the time that you're going to be there. Quick email, Gary, I've now changed from 007 007 to 008 008. Can you transfer? Well, we can. Yeah, so we can for that time that you're there, we'll transfer all of your numbers, all of your 007 007 numbers to your 008 008 numbers. Yeah. So we'll now direct them to your new SIM card whilst you're there, and then the reverse happens when you come back to the UK.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So for heavy business travelers who use their phone a lot when they're away, they can save a lot of money.
Massive.
This facility. So that's a good niche market then. International travelers.
It is. And some people could say, "Oh, that's going to be hassly sending an email all the time to tell you." Really? Is it?
Is it a couple of £100 hassly? The alternative calls,
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. Look,
it's much more hassly because you've got to pay, and then you've got to try and negotiate your way to get it down. over
Yeah.
time?
Well, we experienced this a while back. 2 years ago. My son and both of my sons were traveling through Vietnam with two of their friends, and David, then 20 years old, was struck by a lorry, and that was not a good day. That was on the 12th of June 2018, and so. Yvonne and I, my wife, learned about it the next 12 hours later, the 13th of June, which was the Wednesday. And on the Saturday, Yvonne and I were in Hanoi at his bedside. He was in intensive care for 2.5 weeks. So we were negotiating with the insurance company. I was on I think it was O2 I was on, and a couple of days phone calls, and O2 sent me a wee message, said, Gary, you've racked up 150 quid in calls. Would you like to add an £80 bolt on to have unlimited calls internationally? I said, yes, please. So now I've paid £200, so that was if I had ConXHub, or if I had the time. I suppose I just wasn't thinking we wanted to, organize international flights. We didn't have time for inoculations. We didn't have time for extended visas. We just had to grab the flight and go. And a lot of friends and family were very helpful and supportive at that time. But if I had ConXHub, would have been, a dawdle. It would have been a matter of a quick text to Mark and the team, support@riptech.net, and hi guys, I'm going to get myself a cheap SIM when I'm in Hanoi, so I need all my numbers transferred onto this, and now I can make in-country calls.
I tell you what it would be useful for is when somebody has, when they live in two countries.
Yeah.
They got this thing because they can get a ConXHub contract on two different numbers, one in Spain, say, and one in the UK. And then as and when they take their SIM cards out, because often people who do that, they have two SIM cards.
Yeah.
They take it out and swap it over depending on which country they're in.
Yeah, if they don't want to go down the route of, but they're paying for something that they're not using there, Mike. So we'd rather have them, yeah, just switch, rather than, yes, keep that same SIM, but give us a don't pay two ConXHub contracts. Pay 20 quid for your Cardiff number and your Barcelona number. Have them, live, but just give us a quick email or text to let us know, when you're changing over to the other SIM card if you're going international. That's a much more cost-effective way. We want to help people save money, and yes, it'd be great. Everybody have two ConXHub contracts. Yay! Saves. Only have to do half the work. But no, we're genuinely about making sure that people save money. Absolutely save money and have better connectivity.
Brilliant. Okay, and if they want to save money and have better connectivity, how do they get in touch with you?
They can contact me on LinkedIn or give my Belfast number a call. That's +44 02890 994 224, and or you can 244. Sorry, I'm on LinkedIn. Look me up, Gary Quee. There's it down the corner, Gary Quee. Look me up on LinkedIn. I'll ping you my card, and we can have a chat. Or send me an email to gary.q@conxhub.com.
I noticed on the website you've got a London number. Is that where the head office is based, or is that they just got a London number?
No, we're a London registered business. We're a UK business. The fact that half of our team are international, well, that's like a lot of companies these days. We're registered in UK. We pay our taxes in the UK.
Yeah.
So we're a British business. But we're a global business.
Got a London number as well. So do you do a lot of business in London? Do you?
Not an awful lot, but it was. It was when I joined ConXHub. It was I also have a Sydney number, and because I do have contacts in Australia that I speak to from time to time. But it was more from the Brexit was on the horizon. I've been with ConXHub about 16 months now. Brexit was on the horizon then and happening, and it was deemed that it would be advantageous to have that Belfast, Dublin, London, those three virtual numbers. Should I then need to make contact with people in those regions, and again that local number comfort for a lot of customers. That's where a lot of businesses find that there is I helped a business in Newry in Northern Ireland, and they actually won a contract with a local housing association to service boilers on both sides. Their tenants were living both sides of the Northern Ireland border, and from Newry all the way up to Donegal, and they were having a lot of difficulty, even from a Newry, which is literally 5 minutes from the border, having difficulty contacting some of the people in the south of Ireland. And I said, right, well, look, let's try something here. And I have a Dublin number. And then I phoned one of the properties that they were trying to make contact with. And now, 50 hands up, 50% fluke, 50% a little lady was sitting beside her phone, and it was convenient for her to take a call. But she saw a Dublin number come up on her phone, and she answered the phone. And I hung up immediately, and then she rang me back. So had to hang up again, and she would have got, "Hi, Gary from ConXHub. Please leave a message. I will call you back." She would have nursed that. But so the director at that time, he says, "Right, that'll work for us. Let's have it." So it was just one number. He took a Dublin number, and then he came back and took a Donegal number after that as well, because we're getting a lot of, like, they were working their way up the border from sort of Monaghan and that, and all that to Donegal. So that helped them extremely well. And then they would ring from their Newry number for those people in the north as well. So they have both business numbers on that particular mobile phone. That there was somebody just making calls for their engineers to call out with. So it has great flexibility and great uses for companies. But I'll just show you quickly my business card again. I don't know if that can be seen very well or
A
not.
little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. I'll do there. Hold it. Yeah, lovely. That's it. Can work that out. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I haven't actually done the research. I know it works with registered office addresses, but I don't know if just putting different numbers on gets you ranked in different territories from a website point of view. I was going to say, early on, I was going to ask you if you've got a website with the different numbers on, and does the number do it just on its own? Because I know Google looks at the addresses to be able to rank you in, like if you've got different offices, for example,
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that question, Mike. I'm not really up to. I have a bit of an idea about SEO and rankings and that type of thing, but it's not really something I know a lot about. Certainly, RipTech and ConXHub, all the techies, it would be all over that like a rash, I'm sure. But just to show you quickly this as well, if you've got a tech. So there's my screen. Can you see that? I'll turn the brightness down a little.
Bit bright, yeah, it's a bit bright. Yeah.
That's how it sits. There's a ConXHub app in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sits on in your main menu sort of bar. Yeah. Or is that depending on the phone?
So I just tap the app. There's all my contacts. Yeah, and then I select. Well, let's go to recents, and let's see who's on there. Maybe not recents because GDPR, etc. So let's give. Sorry, we'll go here. Just show you that, please. Okay, so that's my dialer.
Yeah.
Yes, so you see my numbers on there. So I swipe that across, and actually you'll see, just to answer your question.
Higher up into that way, that's it, yeah.
So actually, we've got my SIM number at the top.
Yeah.
We've also got Belfast, London, and as we go down, there's our office in the States and our office in Spain.
Yeah.
But below that, again, there's another London number. But the ones with the little coloured logos
Yeah.
buttons on are my numbers registered to my phone.
Yeah.
The other numbers are registered through the business that I can be contacted on as well.
Yeah.
So like as I said, you know, that's only 7 or 8 numbers on there. You know, we actually currently hold the world record for a shade over 4,000 numbers that you can put onto one phone. Why would you have that? You wouldn't. It was crazy. However, the call center or contact center that we've just helped, the 14,000 numbers shared across 400 users, and that's 35 numbers each. And all those people are working from home.
Yeah.
Most of those people are working from home. They don't need to be in a building as long as they have the protocols for the company and the call. You know, everybody's responsible for GDPR today. You know, so we all look after that. And we all respect that. Then everything should be fine. You know, so yeah, great opportunity. Catch up with you straight after this if it's suitable for you. Although I think I have my dinner on the table, and the door got a knock there.
I'll text you. I'll text you on LinkedIn my email address, and you can send me details of the affiliate scheme.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You'll like that, Mike.
Right.
Thanks so much for the opportunity. Brilliant chatting to you this evening, and it was good to meet you for a brief chat this morning down the Outstanding Network as well. But really glad we've had this opportunity to have a good chat.
Yeah, brilliant, and great to connect with you, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
Very happy to. Thank you.
All the best.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, and there's nothing else left for me to say now other than have a great day. I know I will. And thanks very much for listening. Cheers. Bye-bye.